ஐந்து கரத்தனை யானை முகத்தனை இந்த நிலம்பிறை போன்ற எயிற்றினை நந்தி மகந்தனை ஞான கொழுந்தினை பொந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே. சுக்லாம்பரதரம் விஷ்ணும் சசிவர்ணம் சதுர்புஜம் பிரசன்னவதனம் தியாயேத் சர்வ விக்னோபசாந்தயே. வசுதேவசுதம் தேவம் கம்சசாணூரமர்தனம் தேவகி பரமானந்தம் கிருஷ்ணம் வந்தே ஜகத்குரும். Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We are in the seventh chapter. Shloka number 13, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Trivir gunamayehi bhavaihi yebihi sarvamidam jagate mohitam na abhijanati mam yebhyaha param avyayam. Yebihi, tribihi gunaihi. Yebihi means three, these. Tribihi means three. Gunaihi, three gunas. So instead of saying the entire thing is made of Prakriti, he uses the term, it is made of the three gunas. The entire universe is made up of three gunas. The entire universe is made up of three gunas. What are the three gunas? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Yebihi, Trigunaihi, Trigunamayehi. Trigunamayehi, completely, it is made up of the three gunas. Bhavaihi, and all the objects that you see in the world, all the objects that you see, all the individuals that we see, who are also made up of these Prakritik Tattvas, all these objects that are experienced by each one of us. Okay, and then we are completely captivated by these, by these objects. Mohitam idam sarvam, mohita. Okay, idam sarvam, in the all the creatures in this world are completely mohita. Mohita means completely infatuated by these various objects around us. Mohitam idam sarvam jagate. All the creatures are completely attracted by the objects which are merely made up of the three gunas. They are made up of Prakriti. They are arising out of Prakriti. And what about the Prakriti? Prakriti itself came out of the Maya of the Lord that he has already explained. Yebhyaha, then once they are attracted by this, they forget, all the creatures forget the source of all these things. What is the source? Who or what is the source of all these things? It is the Paramatma, right? The Lord himself. Mohitam, yebhyaha, param avyayam, yebhyaha, out of these, or compared to these, param avyayam mam. Param means the higher, avyaya means the one that does not undergo any change. Because the Lord, the Brahman, does not undergo any change. Then how does he take the avatara? He himself has said, Atma Maya, I create an illusion and then appear as a human being. So here he says, param avyayam mam. So even though the entire universe is created by him, it is created through the power, his Maya power. But at the same time, the Lord himself or the Brahman itself does not undergo any change. Param avyayam mam, that is, nobody really understands the source of this entire universe. Na Vijñānati, they don't realize me. So we get completely attracted by the objects of the universe, spend their entire life without even thinking about the source of this entire universe made up of three gunas. All the objects that we are attracted by the objects in the world, right? All the objects attract us. We spend our entire lifetime, right, trying to get what we want, trying to get what we want, what we don't want. And then there is little time or no time spent to understand the source of this, which is the Lord himself. Tribihi gunamayehi bhavaihi yebihi sarvamidam jagat. It's not only one individual. The entire universe we have in this man. Sarvamidam jagat. Mohitam na abhijanati mam yebhyaha param avyayam. Yebhyaha, I am the higher than all these objects. And the what you call the jagat is, jagat means people in this world do not understand me. Okay. Devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Right? Then is there a way to overcome the effects of Maya? Right? Devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. He means to emphasize, indeed, Yesha, this Gunamayi Gunamayi means what? The Prakriti. The Prakriti is usually mentioned as in the feminine gender. Yesha Gunamayi. Gunamayi means full of the three gunas. Gunamayi, Prakriti. Mama Devi Maya. And according to the philosophy here, it is a Maya. Maya, of course, different interpretations are given for Maya. Some people interpret Maya as a limited power of the Lord. Some people interpret it Maya, Yama, Sa Maya. That which does not exist is Maya. Interpretation for the word Maya. Yama, Sa Maya. In other words, Yama, Sa Maya. Who Ma means don't get near that. So three interpretations are possible. So here, whatever interpretation you take, Devi Maya, this Maya, if you take it as an illusion, the illusion created by this Maya, Duratyaya, it is very difficult to really to overcome that. It is not possible. Even though I may understand from the Bhagavad Gītā and also other texts that the entire universe is made up of this, it's very difficult to overcome that. It is very Duratyaya. It is not easy to. Oh yes, everybody can say that. Okay, it is Maya, it is Maya, Maya. Everybody says that, but it's not possible to to go beyond the clutches of Maya. Ye mam yeva prapadyante. That so the only way to kastarati mayam. There's there is Narada's Bhakti Sutras. Who is able to cross this Maya? Kastarati Maya. Tarati means to cross. Kastarati mayam, sayeva tarati. Finally, say the one who realizes that Narada's Bhakti Sutra. Narada is said to be one of the greatest Bhaktiman of the Lord. Evam mam prapadyante. Okay, Duratya, ye, whosoever, mam, me, eva alone. There is no other way. Prapadyante. Okay, whoever surrenders to me, te yetam mayam, such people, yetam mayam, this Maya, right, which is very difficult to overcome or cross. Taranti, such people are able to cross the Maya or ocean of samsara. Okay, Devi Yesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Yetam Tarantite Namam Dushkritino Mulaha Prapadyante Naradhamaha Mayaya Apahata Jñāna Asuram Bhavamashritah. Okay, and then there are some people who don't believe in the Lord, right? He is very harsh on such people. Dushkritinaha, people, Dushkrita. Krita means activities. Dushkrita means who do adharmic activities or papa activities. Mulaha. Mulaha means what? Who are not able to see. Mula in Tamil, we say the word mula is to cover. Their intellect is completely covered. Mulaha. Why do you say mulaha? Their thinking is completely covered by tamaguna. Mulaha, these mulas. Okay, and Nara Adamaha is very severe on them. Nara Adamaha. Nara means human beings. Adamaha, the lowest of all the human beings. Right? These Mulaha, Dushkritaha, they not only do bad, adharmic activities. Mayaya Apahata Jñāna. Maya, by the power of Maya, which I had created. Apahata Jñāna. Apahata means completely their thinking faculty is completely it has been taken away. They are Apahata Jñāna, their inability, the ability to think they don't have, without the ability to think. Asuram Bhavam, that's the next one. Asuram Bhavam, like what you call, not the divine, the opposite of it. Sura means divine, Asura means not divine. Asuric tendency, Asuram Bhavam, Ashritaha, clinging on the adharmic tendencies, Ashritaha, Mam, na prabhante, they don't live. Not only they don't, then they say there is no God and all these things. According to this what you call this book, right? Is it clear? Namam dushkritano mulaha prapadyante naradamaha. People who worship the Lord, they are able to cross the ocean of Maya. Whereas on the other hand, people do not believe in God or believe in the Lord. What do? They are completely dominated by Maya, and then they go on the path of adharma. Okay, that's called asuric tendencies according to the Lord. Okay, then there are 4 types of love. All right. I remember when I started teaching some time back, when I started teaching more, what shall I say, full time. Many people would ask me whether, in India, whether people do practice yoga. Of course, what they mean by practice of yoga is, do they do asana? That's the question. The question is, do they do yoga in India? What is it they are asking? Do they practice yoga asanas in India? They know nothing more than asanas. They used to ask me this question. I used to tell them that, in India, yes, people practice asana, practice yoga, but that's a different kind of yoga, bhakti yoga, because almost everybody, at least go to the temple, say a small prayer, even though they may not be, ardent devotees. At the same time, there is a certain, certain trait in most of the people. Of course, there are few who don't. Many of the people who do it probably do it for public consumption. Within themselves, there is a certain fear of God. That is always there. So I used to say that. Now he talks about that. Chaturvida bhajante mam janaha sukritinaha arjuna arto jignasu artati jnani cha bharatarshava. Bharatarshava is again Arjuna, Bharatarshava. Bharatarshava, 5 syllables. Instead of calling Arjuna 3 syllables, Partha 2 syllables, uses Bharatarshava 5 syllables. Okay, Bharatarshava, okay, Bharatarshava. And then he also calls him Arjuna, Bharatarshava, Arjuna. Artaha, what is the Artaha? Artaha means people who are suffering. Artaha. There is a prayer every night, most of us chant in the night, especially we chant to the children. When the children, they get nightmares, and then so further there is a simple, it's called Ramajayam, Sri Ramajayam. I don't know whether you know that. Apatam apahartaram dhataram sarva sampadam loka Ramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyam. Artanam Artihantaram. The second shloka is Artha means people who suffer. Artihantaram is the one who removes all the dukkha, right? So this is what he says. There are 4 people, bhajante, 4 classes of people who worship the Lord. Who are they? Chaturvida bhajante mam. Mam means me. 4 types of people worship me. Who are they? Janaha mean Sukritinaha Arjuna. Sukritina means what? They are nice people, good people, right? Good people, 4 classes of good people. Why do you say good people? Because all of them believe in God, right? That is why he calls them good people, right? Right? According to Bhagavad Gītā, people who worship the Lord, who believe in the Lord, are good people. Who don't believe in the Lord are asurik. That's what the classification here. Sukritinaha Arjuna. Artho, what are those people? Artha means people who are suffering. Jñāsaha. Jñāsa means jñātumichu, jignasu, want to know the Lord, right? Here it's all Bhakti Yoga, right? Jñāsa, they want to study. What do? They study Bhakti Sutra, they study the various Puranas, they keep on thinking about the Lord, they read about the exploits of the Lord over the various avatars and all that, yes. Artaha, Jñāsuhu, and then Artharti. Artharti means people, who Artha means wealth here, but Artha means ordinarily we need a lot of things to carry on in our life. So many people get up in the morning, say a small prayer, go about doing their activities, whatever money they can, whatever resources they can collect, they come back. So such people also worship the Lord, right? Many people in the morning, they have a small puja and then go out. Right? There's a right. Janmaha Sukritinaha Arjuna Artaha Jignyasuhu Artharti and Jnani. Jnani is the one here. Jnana about what? Jnani is a person who is able to completely realize the God. Not the Jnani that we have come across in the previous chapter. Here Jnani refers to the person who spends all the time understanding the nature of the Lord. There are many, right? So this Jnani has got nothing to achieve, right? Like our Raja Yogi who wants to understand the true nature of the self, here the Jnani wants to understand either in a particular form or in a without a form, whatever be the approach. Such people are called Jnani. There are examples like what Narada is called to be a Jnani because he's a Bhakti Yogi. Another 2 or 3 other examples. Prahlada is to be a Jnani because he had a complete understanding. So these Jnanis do not have any other motive, anything to achieve except to realize the Lord. Just as the Raja Yogi wants to realize the true nature of the self, here these people want to realize the Lord. So such people are called Jnani here. And Bharatarsha. So there are 4 groups of people. Just like there we have what you call Yogaḥ, we have an understanding of the nature of the self by studying the text, right? With that, you become a karma yogi. You got an understanding of that. With that, you do your activities called karma. Here, still you have an understanding of the Lord. Your parents told you, everybody told you, go to the temple. There's some idea about the Lord in your mind. With that, you go about doing your work. Such people are called artharthis, right? And then there are some people who study more and more about all these things. Such people are called jignasus. And thirdly, we call artharthi, people who go about, who go about doing their daily activities, right? And then constantly thinking of the Lord, regularly thinking of the Lord. And finally, those people who are pure out and out bhaktimans, right? Such people, are the four groups of people. The examples are, Narada, Prahlada, Dhruva. They make a, the Dhruva Charitra, Dhruva who became the North Star. Small child. Small child, he wants, I'll tell you some other time, right? Dhruva Charitra is a fairly well-known story, right? The North Star or the Pole Star, there's a story, Dhruva Nakshatram Kelipattukilla. And then the Dhruva story, the story of the Dhruva, right? He was a bhaktiman, right? He worshipped the Lord. He worshipped Lord Krishna and ultimately reached that particular position in. So there's a story, and he was a young child, about five-year-old boy, and then he wanted to, what I think mentioned, he was sit in the lap of his father, and and unfortunately for some reason it could not take place. So I think he worshipped the Lord, and ultimately he was able to achieve what he wanted, and then he became a very great king. And then the Lord, because of his devotion, gave a high position in the universe by making the North Star. And then the word Dhruva means somebody who is very firm, Dhruva to be very firm. So he would not waver until he was able to achieve the vision of the Lord. So that is why he was given the name Dhruva. Dhruva Charitra is a famous one. Similar, but at least Dhruva had a motive. What is the motive? He worshipped the Lord so that he wanted to sit on the lap of his father. That is, you take Prahlada, you know the story of Prahlada. Prahlada had no other motive except to be, the intense love for the Lord. That is where, the difference between Dhruva and Prahlada comes. So such people are called Jñānis, who had known the true nature of the Lord. And then they will not deviate. Whatever his father would do, whatever problems he would create for his own son, he would not waver, right? So these are the four groups of bhaktimans, right? Right. Arti, people who suffer, right? What happens whenever there is a problem, what do? You worship the Lord, right? So you still go to your prayer room or go to your temple and say, open your heart and say, these problems, why don't you solve this problem for me? So these are called artis, right? These are all called. There are some people who will try to solve their problems without taking the help of the God, but most of the people do. Most of the people we know, right? They whenever distress you worship to God and make a small prayer, do some little puja here and there, and then try to see that something insurmountable you find to get over that by worshipping the Lord. So this artis. Jignasu are those people who would like to understand the nature of the Lord. How do they do that? They study the Ramayana, study the Mahabharata, study the Bhagavad Gītā, they see a lot of these things and get a better knowledge about the Lord through the Purana, through the Itihasas and all. Such people called Jignasu here. And Artharthi are people who would like to get whatever they need to go through life, right? What material possessions you need to go through life. And finally, Jnani, who has a clear understanding of the nature of the Lord. These are the four groups of people, right? So just like we have karma yogis and the Raja yogis. Raja yogi is a person who is able to spend the entire lifetime and to understand the nature of the self, and such an individual achieves kaivalya. But with the what you call paroksha jnana, you can still go about doing your work. Then you become a karma yogi. Here also, you worship the Lord, you surrender to the Lord, go about doing all your daily activities. Such people are called artis or arthartis, right? You go about doing your daily work. Then jignasu, there are people who spend their entire lifetime studying the various scripts, Bhakti literature. Whereas in other cases, other jnanis, they study the Upanishads, the Yoga Sutras and things like this. There are other group of people who study the Puranas, the Itihasas and all that. So that group of people is taking and talking about here. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Tesham jnani nityayuktaha eka bhaktihi vishishyate priyo hi jnaninaha atyartam aham sacha mama priyaha. Then he says of all the four groups of people, like jnani, the one who is completely, what do you call, completely, whose devotion is complete towards me without expecting anything in return, such individual he calls as jnani are very dear to me. Tesham, of all these four groups of people who bhajante, who worship me, right? People worship with different motives. Whereas the jnani wants to be with the Lord. That's about all. Okay, Tesham, Nityayuktaha, always thinking of the Lord, constantly thinking of the Lord. Eka Bhakti, that Eka Bhakti means without any vertical deviation from the Bhakti towards the Lord. Jnani Visishyate. Jnani means the one who has understood me thoroughly. Visishyate, he is really superior or what you call unique in my look. Visishyate. He, because aham, I, jnaninaha atyanta priyaha. Beautiful statement. Because aham, I, jnaninaha, for the jnanis, atyanta, what you call priyaha. I'm extremely, the devotees are extremely fond of me, right? They have so much of bhakti, right? Their entire love is towards the Lord. Okay, priyaha. Okay, sacha mama priyaha. Likewise, I too like those. I too like those bhaktiman. Is this clear? This clear, Shloka? Tesham jnani nityayuktaha eka bhaktihi vishishyate priyo ki jnaninaha hatyartham aham cha mama priyaha udaraha sarva evaite jnani tu atma eva me matam astitaha sahi yuktatma mam eva anuttamam gatim yete sarve means all these people Udaraha eva, all these people are considered to be good people, sattvic people, right? So, but Jnani, the one who is completely devoted to me, Atma eva, okay, Atma eva, okay, Atma eva, they understand me completely, me matam, okay, right? My mata, my view, because Yukta Atma Saha, okay. Yukta Atma here means what? Yoga. In yoga. In what yoga? In Bhakti yoga. Completely the mind is with the Lord, Yukta Atma Saha. Anuttamam Gatim. Uttama means highest. Anuttamam means there is nothing higher than that. Anuttamam Gatim. Okay, the highest position. Mam Eva Astitaha. Okay, ultimately reach me. According to according to Upanishad, there are 4 states of this Bhaktiman. There are 4 states. What are the 4 states? Samipyam, Sarupyam, Salokam, and Sayujyam, right? There. Samipyam means you go and live near the Lord. You go to Vaikuntha, live near the Lord. Samipya. Sarupya, you constantly think of him. You also take the same form of the Lord, Sarupya. Samipya, Saloka, live in the same Vaikuntha, and Sayuja, ultimately merge yourself into the Lord. These are the 4 stages Bhakti Yoga talks about, right? And then if you take the Bhakti Yoga, there are a number of literature available, different paths are. There is Ashtanga Yoga, Shatanga Yoga, so on, Bhakti Yoga. And then what else is there? Then there are 2, the Bhakti, Sharanagati. There are one view is Sharanagati, you surrender yourself to the Lord will take care of you. Or on the other hand, the other view will be you have to cling to the Lord all through your life until the last moment. Then what happens? You merge with the Lord. So these are the 2 views. One is called Sharanagati Tattva, the other one is the Bhakti Tattva. And then they give the example, I think I mentioned to you about Markata Jñāya or Marjala Jñāya. Marjala is a cat, like a cat which takes care of the what do you call it, kitten. The Lord will take care of you once you surrender to the Lord. There's one view. Other view is you cling to the Lord all through your life, like the Markata Jñāya, right? Yeah. So these are the 2 views. There are very good, interesting stories on this. I don't think we have the time to go to this. So the Bhakti Yoga subject itself is very, very, what do you call it, enormous. Like your Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is very enormous. Again, there are grades, right? Bhakti Yoga means even though to start with, you just say a prayer, All right, but over a period of time, people develop a lot of, because they become bhaktimans, right? Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevaha sarvam iti samahatma sudurlabhaha. Bahunam janmanam ante, bahunam many, just like it may take many janmas to become achieve kaivalya. If you follow the path of jnana, here bhakti also according to him takes many births. Bahunam janmanam ante. Bahunam means many, janmanam means birth, ante, at the end of many births, ante. Jnanavan mam prapadya. Jnanavan means the person who has understood the true nature of me. Jnanavan mam, me, prapadyante. They ultimately reach me. Vasudevaha sarvamiti. Vasudeva is Lord Krishna. Okay. Purnavatara. Vasudevaha sarvamiti. Everything is only Vasudeva. Saha, okay, iti Saha Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. Such a Mahatma, great soul, Sudurlabhaha is very, very rare indeed, right? That kind of intense, intense bhakti, only a few people get, and then too over a long period of time. There are instances in every generation. There are instances where there are great bhaktimans, right? Like, Saint Tyagaraja a few years ago, Raghavendra a few years ago, right? And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Like that, there are a number of people who are great. Even Krishnamacharya is said to be a great bhakti yogi, right? Yeah, right. Bahunam, in fact, he is said to have went into samadhi with which he was able to write the Yogaḥ. That's a belief. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyante vasudevaha sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabhaha. Okay, now there are a number of other people who still have bhakti, but then their bhakti, the worship is slightly different from going to the ultimate Lord. According to him, is Krishna or Vasudeva. Kamaihi taihi kritajnanaha prapadyante anya devataha tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyataha swaya. He says that many people who worship smaller deities, right? In fact, we have in many villages, they got a village deity and all that. So, and sometimes you got some people who say you do this particular puja, this problem will be solved. You go to them. There are smaller deities which are mentioned in the Shastras. Taihi, those, kamaihi, depending upon your, I need this, so I do this particular, right? I want my house to be completed. I want to win this particular court case, or, I want my daughter to get married, or you do a few things. In fact, chanting the Sundarakanda will help in one's daughter getting married. Like that, there are a number of rituals are there. So those things we follow because we have a goal to achieve. Taihi, kamaihi, hatagnyana means they don't think deeply. People come and say, why don't you do this? This problem will be solved. So we worship that particular deity. Tam niyatam astaya. Okay, then you follow the specific niyatas. Niyata means there are certain rules, right? You may fast for 40 days. There are some, say you used to fast 40 days, and then after 40 days go to a particular village, particular temple. There are different so those are, say, if you want some problem to be solved, or if a desire to be fulfilled, somebody comes and tells you this, we do that. Or go around a temple so many times, Astaya. See, there the approach is not to understand the ultimate reality, ultimate nature of the Lord. I want these problems to be solved. Right? I got a limited requirement that I think will be solved by worshipping a particular deity. Tam niyatam astaya, okay, established in those, working out those niyamas. Swaya prakritya, I mean, motivated by your own prakriti, right? By their own tendencies, prakritya, niyataha, right? Somebody comes and tells you, then what you say, all right, I will do it, right? I will do it. Niyataha, anya devataha, there are anya devata, number of devatas are there, worship them, prapadyante, right? They worship them, okay? He wants to bring all sorts of, bhakti activities in this discussion. Yo yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhaya architum ichchati tasya tasya achalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. He says that, I don't object to this. He says, I don't object to this. Yaha, whatever, bhaktaha, whatever, or whoever bhaktaha, worshipper, yam, whichever tanu means whichever deity, shraddhaya, with earnestness, archita means worships, ichati, okay, if they want to. No, I want you to settle down, that's all. So long you don't go that way, I'm fine. Okay, architum ichati, right? If they want to worship smaller or with devotion, okay, I don't mind that. Ichati, tasya, okay, tasya, there, tam shraddham, depending upon their earnestness, aham achalam vidadhami, right? Okay. What he's trying to say is, even when you worship what you call smaller devatas, it is me who is going to give the results of those worship. We go to the next one. Sataya shraddhaya yuktaha tasya aradhanam ihate labate cha tata kaman maya eva vihitan hi tan. Saha, that particular devotee, Taya Shraddhaya Yuktaha, with such kind of Shraddha. Many people do this, these vratas with a lot of Shraddha, Akranam. You see, look at people who who take a lot of trouble to go to a particular temple, they Shraddhaya, 40 days, 60 days, right? They fast, or they follow very strict discipline and all that. There's a lot of Shraddha involved in it. Saha tata shraddhaya yuktaha, okay, shraddhayod, tasya aradhanam ihate, right? Whatever the devata they do, they worship, aradhanam ihate, cha tataha, from that particular devata, maya eva vihitane, okay? Even that comes under my, okay, I created all these devatas, so through them I am able to, fulfill the desires of individuals. Maya eva vihitane, tan kaman, all their desires, he labate, they are able to get it. Because I finally give it to. See, this prayer is quite common. Akashad patitam toyam idagachit sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha Sri Keshavam pratigichyati. Okay. Akashad patitam. Akasha means from Akasha means from space or from patitam, falling. Toya means water drops, raindrop. Yada gachati sagaram, ultimately they reach the ocean. Sarvadeva namaskara. All namaskaras are the worship that you do to various deities. Sri Keshavam, Keshava is Krishna here or Narayana here. Ultimately they reach the Lord. So that is the idea here. So it doesn't matter which vertical. So long you are worshipping individual deities for a few of your requirements, right? Then you go ahead and do it. I am the one who is going to fulfill all those things. Antavattu phalam teshan tadbhavati alpam edhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. See, these are very different things, right? All the things that you do, worship for the, the other deities, what you get, whatever you want, you get. But people who worship me ultimately reach me. There's a big difference between worshiping small deities and also worshipping me. That's the next one. There are, yeah. அது அந்த கர்ம யோகத்துக்கும் போது சொல்லியிருக்கேன். கர்ம யோகத்தில் if you want to become a karma yogi, இதெல்லாம் unnecessary சொல்லியிருக்கேன். Now you are talking about bhakti yoga. There are some people who, there are different paths he is talking about, right? அங்க அதுல வந்து there your what you call the buddhi should be able to understand or directly experience the nature of the self. With that knowledge, you go about doing your activities. There is no mention about what you call bhakti, or there is no mention about the Lord. In this case, there are different groups of people, different groups for whom bhakti appeals. You see the difference? Exactly is what Patanjali in Yoga Sutra says. Ishvara pranidhanadva. If you are not comfortable doing all these things, there are some people, okay, I will give me a path, one method, so that I can, then what happens? Ishvara pranidhana will not appeal to some people. Whereas whatever is said in the first part of the first chapter will not appeal to a group of people. Now that is why we got both of them ultimately maybe the same. That's what we will see in the third chapter, third portion. But then you see distinctly two different tendencies are there. One tendency is emotion. Emotion, instead of having emotion towards the worldly objects, you make those emotions vertical towards the Lord. I'm not able to overcome the emotion. So what you call you become a bhakti, you develop love bhakti towards the Lord. That is what then the earlier one, that there are many people who don't that kind of that kind of emotion. They want to know what the truth is. Who am I? That's what they want to. For such people, the first set of yes, logical and that is, I mean, even people with emotion have, they will be able to understand this. They will be able to understand what is mentioned in that. In fact, that understanding may be there, but they will not be interested in merely knowing the nature of it. I want to know who the creator is, right? That kind of tendency will be there. I'm not saying whether this is right or that is right. Such people will be able to achieve what you call Punaravarti. Both of them don't want to be born again. Okay, these people will merge with the Lord so that they are not going to be born again. Whereas the other group of people will understand the nature of the self, there is no motivation to be born again. So either way, we will be able to reach the goal. So now he is catering to the need of two groups of people, right? And there are people who probably have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's a different matter. But you, over a period of time, yes, over a period of time, you'll find out which is right. And then you take the particular path. There are some people who have difficulty believing in God, or their emotions are very, very little. They have no great emotions. But there are other people who are completely full of emotions, right? But why don't you turn that emotion towards the Lord? And it is possible. Once you start studying the various texts, the Puranas and all that, you develop a love towards the Lord, and that will lead them to lead them to moksha. 23. Antavattu phalam teshan tadbhavati halpamedhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. See, this is an important shloka too. But even though you worship the other deities, get whatever you want, and I will be the person who will be able to dispense the benefits of your worship. But then you get only whatever you want. Artharthi, Artharthi, or what is the other one? Artharthi. And the other one is artha. Artha means you suffer, you want that suffering to be removed, so you worship a particular deity, you get that removed, which is given by me, which is provided by me. On the other hand, artha, I want a few things to have a comfortable life. That also I give, right? But the fourth one, the Jnani, is the one, who is going to be completely devoted to achieving Sayujya with me. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi tu alpamedhasam sesham means the people who worship with a limited objective of getting rid of whatever they don't want, or getting what a few little things they want. I want this, I want to build a house, or I want a job, I want my son to get married. These are all alpa. I'm not saying it is not great, but they are considered from the they are alpa, little bit of things here and there. Okay. So alpa medasam tesham, for those people, tat phalam alpavatu bhavati. Okay, they have limited form now. Afterwards, that need is gone, and there is nothing much to do. He considered those kind of approach to approaching the Lord. You pray to the Lord for this, you pray to the Lord for this. All those things he considered to be, not a Lord, a particular deity, that he considered to be alpa. Alpa means, you do it, so okay, that's about all. Tatu phalam antavatu, they are limited. Antavatu, they are limited. Devajaha, right? Devajaha. And then there are people who worship, you see the yajnas they are talking about. They worship Varuna, they worship Agni, they worship Vayu, whatever. They reach the other low. You just talked about. People also are able to reach a slightly higher world. They go to heaven number 4, heaven number 14, like that, depending upon the yajna they do. So the two things. One, people who yajna, reach the other world at the end of this life. There are other people who do issue kind of religious activity so that they get whatever they want to go through through life. A little bit of reduction in the in the sufferings, a little bit more happiness. That's about all what they get. That can be got by worshipping in the. And then there are yajnas that will take you to the next Janma. So these are two things he's talking about. Is it clear? One is people who worship so that the little things they can achieve in their lives, which are very, very limited. And then there are others who do yajna so that they go to the different higher worlds. These are two groups of people. Both of them are bhaktimans. Both of them worship the individual deities. Devan yanti. Mad bhaktaha, on the other hand, who worship the Lord, Lord Krishna or Vishnu or Narayana, mamapi yanti. Ultimately, they reach me. अंतवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवति अल्पमेधसां देवान् देवयजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामपि. Of course, there are some people who will interpret that this is more important than what is karma yoga. Bhakti yoga is definitely higher than the karma yoga. But if you are a yoga student, if you read the if you read the Patanjali Yoga Darshana, then that gives a different. All when you go to the Upanishad, there are different approaches are available. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhayah param bhavam ajanantah mama vyayam anuttamam. Mama means my, avyayam. Avyayam means right. So the Lord does not undergo any change. Brahman does not undergo any change. Mama avyayam. Avyayam means immortal. Anuttamam means there is nothing compared to my greatness. Anuttamam. Param bhavam, the highest vertical state. Param ajanantaha, without knowing. Abuddhayaha, people. Okay. Buddhi means people who are able to think. Abuddhayaha, people don't think on these lines. Abuddhayaha. Avyaktam mam. Avyakta means, okay, because I don't manifest. Avyaktam mam, non-manifesting me. Vyaktim apannam, right? Vyaktim apannam, someone who can be seen by the senses. Okay, seems manyante. What does he say here? I am avyakta, but then at this particular moment, I am seen by other people. Then they think that the Lord can be seen through the senses. It is not true. I am beyond the senses, and whatever I am, whatever you see in me, whatever you see me to be, it is only a Atma Maya. I create an illusion so that to make whatever necessary changes I want to make. Right? Naham prakashaha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah moodoyam na abhijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. Right? See, the whole idea, he says that even though I do not, right, I don't undergo any change like Brahman, the Lord also does not undergo any change. But then I appear before all of you so that you are accessible. I am accessible to senses, but this is not my real form. It is only Atma Maya. Okay, why have I done this? Just to do a few things. I got to rearrange everything. That's why I am here. Naham prakashaha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah moodoyam na abhijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. Yogamaya samavritah. Yogamaya means, this is not ordinarily done. The Maya that the Lord created cannot be done by ordinary people. Yogamaya samavritah. Okay, completely covered by the Maya, Ahamai, Sarvasya means for everybody. Na prakashaha. Not everybody can see me. Moolahayam lokaha. Okay. What happened to, whereas Arjuna was able to see the Lord, whereas what happened to Duryodhana, he saw him as another individual. Right? He didn't see him as the Lord. Na prakashaha. Moolaha ayam lokaha. This world is completely moodha, doesn't know. Ajam avyayam. Aja means the one that is not born. Avyaya, which does not decay. Mam, me, or which does not manifest. Na abhijanati. They don't really know who really I am. Right? Shloka number 26. Vedaham samati tani vartamanani charjuna Bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Arjuna, samatitani, okay, samatitani, what happened in the past, vartamanani, okay, vartamanani, whatever is happening at this particular moment, at present, bhavishyani, whatever is going to take place in future, bhutani, all the creatures, aham veda, I know what has gone in the past, samatitani, past, present, and the future, bhutani, all the creatures, aham veda, I know all that is happening, what happened in the past, what is happening now, and what will happen in the future. Aham veda, tu mam kaschana na veda, but nobody knows me. I know everything, but nobody knows me. Okay, we go to the next sloka, 27. Ichvadvesha samuthena dvandamohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. You see, you must understand that karma yoga may not appeal to everybody. Right? And bhakti yoga may not appeal to everybody. Right? Why? Because people are different. People are different. At the same time, you people who are who have a tendency to think greatly, I want to know the truth behind the whole thing. Right? For them, the karma yoga will be most appropriate. Here, the bhakti yogis are also capable of deep thinking. They want to know who created this universe. I want to know who created this universe. That is also another pursuit. Okay, and then there the emotions also come in, right? They tend to love the Lord, and then they are able to practice bhakti yoga. If you are a bhakti, you have got a lot of bhakti in you, you will be able to appreciate this. If you don't have bhakti in you, it is very difficult to appreciate. Frankly, why is he talking about all these things? If you think, the first karma yoga portion is very good, if you appreciate the Sankhya part very well, you may not have the same enthusiasm about the middle part of it. But there are a number of people who are completely captivated by what is said in the in the middle part of this. Exactly what you find in the Yoga Sutras also. Ishvara Pranidhanadva, he says, right? Many people need not go through that, right? Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. In the in the Upanishad, in Vedanta, they try to combine these two. The Lord that you are talking about, right? The Creator, and the whatever you consider to be yourself, both of them are one and the same. That which is the source of this entire creation, if you call it as God, from whatever you consider to be yourself, okay, they are one and the same, right? So first of all, I must understand what is identified as the self, right? Right? So that is what you find in the first part of it. You see what I mean? First 6 chapters talks about what should be called as I, right? And then the second 6 what is to be understood as tat, right? That is the one that created this entire. And the third portion is both of them are identical. There is absolutely no difference between these two. So to understand, to get the view, the Advaita view, or the Vedantic view, that both of them are one and the same, you must know what constitutes I, you must understand what constitutes that, and then only see the identity between these two. So it's a big job. But then, so far as yoga is concerned, they say the mere understanding of the true nature of the self is sufficient for you to achieve Kaivalya. The second portion, if you merely understand the true nature of the Lord, it is sufficient to attain moksha. Then the third chapter says, after all, both of them are one and the same. So this is the framework. Sloka number 27. Ichvadvesha samuthena dvandamohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Parantapa is again Arjuna. Paramtapa, right? The person is he is able to, he is able to cause pain to the opponents. Parantapa, Bharata. Bharata means one who belongs to the Bharata dynasty. Icha dvesha samuttena. Icha means desire, dvesha means the opposite of that. Dvesha means hatred, samuttena. Arising out of all our activities, I think I mentioned to you, are icha and dvesha. I do a lot of activities to get what I want. I do other activities to get rid of what I don't want. Ichcha dvesha. All our activities arise out of ichcha and dvesha. Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena. Dvandva means pairs of opposite. Right? Dvandva mohena. I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like this. Moha. This is infatuation. Dvandva mohena. Sarva bhutani. All creatures. Sarge. Sarge means at the time of birth. Sammoham yanti. Sammoham means they lose the understanding of the Lord, or they lose the understanding of the nature of one's own self. Ichchadvesha samuttena dvandvamohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva moha nirmuktaha bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Okay. But punyakarmanam yesham jananam. Punyakarmanam means who have done punyakarmas, punyakarma. Okay, punyakarma. Papam antagatam, for them, papa, what you call, papa means what you call, papa means sin, antargatam, they also come to an end. Dvandvamoha virmuktaha, they are free from the dvandvas. There is neither hatred nor what you call desire in them. They dridhavrataha, with a firm mind, mam bhajante, they worship me. There, the same thing, the person who has been able to, how do they overcome dvandva? How do they overcome dvandva? They overcome dvandva with the knowledge of the self. The self does not have neither desire nor what you call nor hatred. With that particular knowledge, here, with the knowledge of the Lord, they are able to overcome. There is nothing to get from this Trigunika, the universe. Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam sed bandhamoha nirmuktaha bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Such people, the four groups of bhakti yogis, now he is talking about the one, what he call the Jnāni, according to him. Such people, okay, they are dvandha moha nirmuktaha. Dvandha means pairs of opposites. That is rajasic. Moha is again, moha is tamasic. Nirmuktaha, completely, what you call, completely free from what you call rajas and tamas, nirmuktaha. Then with a sattvic mind, they worship the Lord. We go to the next one. Jara marana mokshaya mamashritya yatanti ye te brahma tadviduhu krishna madhyatmam karmam cha akhilam. Jara marana mokshaya. Jara means what? Jara means old age. Marana means death. Jara marana mokshaya. I don't want what? I don't want another jara or marana, right? This birth I have taken, I have to go through jara, old age, and marana, death. Jara marana mokshaya. I want to be released from jara and marana. Jara and marana. Old age is painful. I know that. Jara marana mokshaya. To be released from old age and marana, that is, I should not be born again. I cannot avoid this janma. Okay, next janma I should not have. Mam ashritya yatantite. Such people, surrender to me. Why? At the time of death, I will achieve moksha and attain the the grace of the Lord. Jara marana mokshaya mam ashritya, mam yatantite, right? Yatantite. People keep on making an effort to reach me with my support. Te Brahma tadviduhu Krishna madhyantam karma. Yatanti, they make all efforts. What effort do they make? They constantly worship the Lord. Te tat Brahma. Okay, such people. Tat Brahma, that Brahman, right? Whatever is mentioned, the Upanishad, Brahman is the ultimate reality, which is none other than me. Te Brahma Krishnam Adhyatmam, okay, and also Krishnam Adhyatmam, right? Adhyatma. They also understand the true nature of themselves. Adhyatmam, Akhilam Karma, all activities also. So everything that have to know, they are able to understand. Right? Everything they require, they are able to understand. Jara marana mokshaya mama shritya yatanti te brahma tadviduhu krishnam adhyatmam karma cha akhilam. All those things that are required to be known, they are able to understand. Similar idea you find the Yoga Sutras. When you worship the Lord, what is his capability? Ishvara pranidhanadva klesha karma vipakāshayi aparamrusha purusha vishesha tatra niratishayam sarvajña bijam. All knowledge that you will be given by the Lord. So people who approach the Lord, they will be able to understand everything. They will be able to understand the real nature of themselves. They also will be understand the nature of Brahman. Sadhibhutadhidevam mam sadhiyajñam cha ye viduhu prayanakalepi cha mam te viduhu yukta chetasaha. Yaha means whosoever, me, sadhibhutam, sadhidevam, sadhiyajñam cha, right? Sa adhibhuta, adidevya, adiyajña. He is going to explain it in the end. What is meant by adibhuta, adideva, adiyajña? He is going to explain it, so let me not get into it now. So, whosoever, okay, adibhuta, that is me as a creator. My creation includes adibhuta, adideva, adiyajña. So, he is going to explain it later on. Viduhu, the one who is able to understand me, associated with all these things, Yukta chetasaha, with a concentrated mind. Yukta here with yogi, such a deep concentration. Yukta chetasaha. Prayana kaleyapi, prayana kapeyapi, right? Prayana means what? Prayana means at the time of death. Prayana kaleyapi, mam viduhu. They will be able to keep me in their mind, even at the time of death. Okay. So, and then later on, he is going to say that, whatever is in our mind at the time of death, that will be the propelling force for your next janma. If at the time of death I am going to think of the Lord only, so I will reach the Lord. On the other hand, if I got unfulfilled desires in me, then I will take another janma so that I will be able to get those desires fulfilled. Okay. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gītā su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyāyām Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Vijñāna Yogo Nama Saptamaha Adhyāyaha. Right. Let's start the next chapter. Ashtamadhyayaha, the 8th chapter. Akṣara Brahma Yogaḥ. Akṣara. What is Akṣara? Akṣara means Akṣara means that does not undergo any any change. Okay. Akṣara Brahma. Brahman. Now he is talking about Brahman which does not undergo any change. To understand the Brahman, he is going to take up the next chapter. We have talked about the nature of the Atman in the first 6 chapters. Now he is slowly bringing to idea to not only to the to the Lord, and also the non-changing Brahman. Non-changing Brahman. If the Brahman, when it is not associated with creation, it is called Brahman. When it is created, associated with creation, naturally that is known as Lord or Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the one who creates this thing. And which is the one that created? Brahman created. But then Brahman is supposed to be Akṣara, non-changing. This appears to be a bit of a paradox. So that's why many philosophies come saying that whatever is created is only limited creation. Others say the created universe is only an illusion. It cannot be real. So these are the two views to accommodate these two views. Kim tad brahma, kim adhyatmam, kim karma purushottama, adhibhutam cha kim proktam, adidevam kim uchyate. When I was young, I had my grandmother used to say, the Lord is in heaven, and then she used to point out. I used to be very curious. Sometimes I used to stand out and then look at whether I don't know whether you have tried this. Pardon?
Kids also do that. My kids also do that.
Yes. I was a kid, I used to do this. Yes. As kids, we do that. Once you tell them God is in there, you look up, see whether there will be an opening somewhere so that I can see God. But then after some time, all those security is gone. We are completely engulfed with the day-to-day activities. All this curiosity is gone, absolutely gone. But that should be maintained. That curiosity is very healthy. I remember one of my aunt's husband died. I was about 6 or 7. I had a grandmother. She'll give all sorts of stories like this and say, what I should say. She said, no, even though he is dead, he is going to heaven. I will ask her every 1 or 2 days, where will he be? Is he still on the way? Has he reached the heaven and all that? She will give some story, right? She'll give all sorts of stories she'll give. Kim tad brahma, kim adhyatmam. That curiosity is gone, right? Completely gone. Afterwards, how? Dull life. Keep on doing it in the morning, do this, do that, go back. And then a lot of other external things take over, politics, family problems, all sorts of things take over. Kim tad brahma, kim adhyatmam, kim karma, that, what do you call that, our innocent curiosity is gone. Purushottama, adibhutam cha kim proktam, adidevam kim uchyate. Arjuna Vacha, Purushottama, Purusheshu Uttamaha, Purushottama. Of all the beings, you are the highest. Purushottama. Tat Brahma, that Brahman, Kim. What is that Brahman? Please explain to me. Because the previous sloka is the Adhyatma, Adidevika, Adideva, and also Adi Yajna. He said, you please explain to me all these things that you mentioned in the previous. Adhyatmam Kim, Adhyatmam Kim, Adhyatmam Kim, what is Adhyatma? Karma Kim, what is karma? Adhibhutam, what is Adhibhuta? Kim Proktam, what is said to be Adhibhuta? Adidevam, what is said to be Adidevam? Kim Uchate, please explain to me. Okay. Adi Yajñaha Katam Kotra, Dehe Yasmin Madhusudana, Prayana Kale Cha Katam Nyeyaha, Asi Neyatatma Bihi. Madhusudana is Krishna. What is Madhusudana? He is supposed to have destroyed a asura called Madhu. So Madhusudana, okay. Atra here, Asmin Dehe means in this body. Kaha means who, Katam in what way? Adi Yajñaha. Who is who? Adi, I mean, how he exists as Adi Yajna. What is Adi Yajna? Yajna means the various activities. The entire creation is considered to be a Yajna, because the Lord has nothing to gain by creating this. It's called a sacrifice. He created this entire universe as Yajna. That's called Adi Yajna. Prayana Kale, at the time of death, Niyata Atmanihi, okay, even an individual who has been able to develop self-discipline, Niyata Atmani, Katam Nyayaha Asi, right? How can he be known? Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Akṣaram Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Adhyatma Muchyate Bhuta Bhavaha Udbhavakaraha Visargaha Karma Samgnitaha. Akṣara means what? That which will not change, which will not be destroyed. Akṣaram Paramam, the highest Brahma. Akṣaram is the highest Brahman. Highest Brahman is called Akṣara. Swabhavaha means his nature, Adhyatma Uchate. His Swabhava is called Adhyatma. Why? He becomes the Atman in all of us. Adhyatma Uchate, right? Bhuta Bhava Udbhavakaraha. Bhuta Bhava Udbhavakaraha. He creates all the bhutas, all the creatures. Visargaha, Karma Samgyataha. Okay, right? That is called Yajna, right? Yajna means what? Sacrificial activity. Yajna relates to activities, okay? The Brahman is, okay, Adhyatma. Okay, right. Let's go through this. Aksharam Brahma, Aksharam Brahma. The non-changing Brahman, Akṣara, is called Brahman, right? Swabhavaha, right? Swabhavaha, Adhyatma Uchyate. What is his Swabhava? What is his nature? His nature, or its nature, is the vertical nature of the self, right? Atma. In every individual, it is the Atman. The Brahman is the Atman. Bhuta Bhava Udbhavakara. Then the entire creation itself. Creation also is said to have come from Brahman, because Brahman becomes the Lord once it is associated, becomes God once it is considered a creator, once the creation is associated with Brahman. When there is no creation, it is called pure Brahman, Akṣara. When it is associated with creation, then it is known as God. Right? So, and then creation is an activity, it's an yajna. So, Adi Yajna, Udbhavakaraha. Okay. Visargaha, Karma Samgyata. All the activities of creation is called Adi Yajna. Is it clear? Three things. Okay. Kim Tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatmam, Kim Karma. These are the three questions. Kim Tad Brahma, the non-changing consciousness, which is Akṣara, is Brahman. Kim Adhyatmam, the same Brahman acts as the individual self in all of us. That is called Adhyatma, right? Kim Karma, what is the activity of the Brahman, even though through Maya it creates the entire universe. Is it clear? Right. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Akṣaram Brahma Paramam Swabhavaha Adhyatma Uchyate Bhuta Bhava Udbhava Karaha Visargaha Karma Samgnitaha Adibhutam Ksharo Bhavaha Purushascha Adi Deivatam Adi Yajño Aham Yevatra Dehe Dehabhrutam Vara Dehabhrutam means Dehabhrut means the people who have taken a birth. Dehabhrit, all of us hold a body. Dehabhritambara. You are among the best among the human beings. Dehabhritambara. It's another, what do you call, another term that uses to describe Arjuna. Dehabhritam vara. 6 syllables are there. Ksharam bhavaha, ksharam bhavaha. Kshara means what do you call decay. Ksharam bhavaha, like adibhutam, right? Adibhuta is all those creatures which, what do you call, which are destroyed. Akṣara means decay. Whereas Akṣara is Brahman, does not decay. Akṣara are the human beings, who people who have taken, all the creatures who have taken a body, they are all Ksharas, right? Because they are destroyed. Adibhutam, okay, they are called Adibhutas. Purushaha Adideivatam, right? Purusha is the Adidevam. Okay, Purusha, individual Purusha is called Adidevata here. So Atra Dehe, Aham Eva Adi Yajñaha. Okay, I reside in each and every creature, and then I am responsible for the activities of each and every individual. That is called Adi Yajña. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaha prayati samadbhavam yatina asti atra samshayaha. Antakale means the time of death. Mameva smaran, the one who constantly thinks about me. Mameva smaran. Okay. Kalevaram means this body. Muktva, when he leaves this particular body. Yaha prayati. Okay. The one who leaves this body and goes out of this body, such an individual, saha, madbhavam. Madbhava means my form, my nature, yati, he is able to achieve. Or it can be sayujya, or sarupya, or samipya, or saloka, yati. Atra samsaya nasti. So what should I do? At the time of death, I should be able to think of the Lord. At the time of death, if I am thinking of the Lord, what will happen? I will reach the abode of the Lord. I will reach the Lord. Once I reach the Lord, there is no puravarti. I won't be born again. For the Raja Yogi, if my buddhi is able to understand the true nature of the self, then such an individual will not take another birth. Here he says, at the time of death, until the time of death, you have got to keep on thinking of the Lord. At the time of the death, if you are able to keep the mind thinking of the Lord, then such an individual will reach the ultimate goal. In fact, there is a interesting Tamil saying, "Appodikku ippodhe solli வைத்தேன்." I have heard of that, right? Because it's very difficult. We don't know what will happen at the time of death. Maybe the pain may be so much, or the fear may be so much. I will not be able to think of the Lord. So he says, I don't know how it will be. So take it as though I am thinking about you. Right now I'm thinking about you. Take it as though this is my last, the thought at the time of death. So this, that is why in the next sloka he's going to explain this. Whatever is the dominating thought at the time of death, if it is fear or hatred or unfulfilled desire, the next Janma is going to be dominated by that. So that is why right in the early stages, one should develop the sense of dispassion, so that at the time of death, the mind is calm. A calm mind will not, right? Yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevar. Just keep it in the back of the mind. You're all young people. Don't take these things too seriously. It's all for me, not for you people. But keep it in the back of the mind, right? These instructions will have a value, but the usage is not immediate. Yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam eva eti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Kaunteya is Kunti's son, which is Arjuna. Ante means at the time of death, or at the end. Yam vapi, whatever bhava, what bhavin, particle, object, smarane, thinking, smarane, kalevaram, body, tyajate, when he leaves the body, sada, always, tad bhava bhavitaha, Okay, tam yeti, right? So he says that whatever is the dominating thought at the time of death, right? And the next Janma will be, will be by the last thought that you have. If you think of the Lord, you reach the Lord. If you think of the Atman, right, there is nothing, there is nowhere you go. तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु माम् अनुस्मर युध्य च मयि अर्पित मनो बुद्धिः माम् एव येषस्य संशयः. This is again, he says, how can you think of the Lord at the end? You keep on thinking of the Lord all through your life. So that is all the thought that is in you, the samskara you develop, and then, no, that's not interesting. All right. Why don't you start thinking about the nature of this? No, it is difficult. Okay. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, tasmat therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, all the time. In fact, many times that's what happens. At the time of death, whatever is in my mind, I become that, right? So if you read the Yogaḥ, it's very interesting at that particular time, right? So that's why he says that, I'll come to that. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, tasmat therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, at all times, mam manusmara, keep me in the back of your mind. If you are a karma yogi, think of the nature of the Atma, non-changing Atma themselves, and go about doing work well. If you are a bhakti yogi, keep the thought of the Lord in the back of your mind. He is going to protect me, he is going to guide me, right? With that thought, you go about doing all your activities. And the Lord is not something, something alien. The Lord is the one who created this universe. The Lord is the one who created me. So there is absolutely, there is a perfect relationship with the Lord. If I am able to establish that, then I can constantly think about the Lord. Yasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara, think about me. Maya arpita manaha, arpita manaha. Arpita means surrender. Surrender to me. Arpita mana buddhi, not only mind but also buddhi. Mind and buddhi. Asamshaya, without any. After one year, I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing. No. Mam eva yeshasya, such an individual ultimately will reach me. अभ्यास योग युक्तेन चेतसा न अन्यगामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थ अनुचिन्तयन्. Partha, Arjuna, na अन्यगामिना. I mean, don't keep your mind wandering with all the various various objects of the world, right? Don't allow the mind to keep on at a particular point. Yes, okay, this is limit your engagement with the outside world at a particular point in time. Partha na anyagamina, without allowing the mind to wander in these worthless outside objects. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. Abhyasa means keep on thinking of the Lord. What is abhyasa? Think of the Lord in your mind, either form worship or use a mantra, or constantly think about, by studying the various Puranas and all that. The whole story, Ramayana story, or the Mahabharata story, or Bhagavata story keeps on going in your mind. Yuktena, chetasa, with your chitta. Divyam means, divya means like the divine, or the divine, or what is the luminous, paramam purusham, the ultimate reality, purusha. Anuchintayan, thinking about that, yati, okay, he reaches Brahmanhood. Brahman and I are no different. Okay. Kavipuranam anushasitaram anoraniyan samanusmaredyaha sarvasya dhataram achintya rupam aditya varnam tamasaha parastat. Next sloka also I read. Prayana kale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva bhruvor madhye pranamaveshya samyak satam param purusham upaiti divyam. Here again, the use of yoga is bringing, because discipline is given only by yoga. I can keep on thinking of the Lord, just like you need a concentrated mind in Raja Yoga, thinking about the nature of the self. Here also, you need a concentrated mind to think of the Lord. Merely saying, I am a bhakta of the Lord may not be sufficient according to this section. Okay. Kavi, kam brahmanam vayati iti kavihi. The definition of kavi is kam means Brahman, kam brahmanam vayati, Vayati is a beats. You describe the Lord in so many different ways. Kam Brahmanam Vayati iti Kavi. A Kavi who has completely understood the nature of the Lord. Puranam means very, what you call, very old. Anushasitaram, one who controls the entire universe. Anoho Aniyam, he is smaller than the atom itself. Anoraniyamsam, Sarvasya Dhataram, at the same time he is what he call, he is the support of the entire universe. Achitapam, whose form cannot be what you call comprehended by the limited mind. Aditya Varnam, at the same time Aditya Varnam, Aditya means sun, Varna means the brightness of the sun. Tamasaha Parastat, okay, he is completely beyond the darkness. Tamasaha Parastat. Prayana Kale means at the time of death. Bhakti Ayuktaha, if your mind is in total devotion to the Lord. Achalena Manasa, without a wavering mind. Yoga Balena, with your yoga practice. What is the yoga practice? You practice asana, you practice yama niyama, you pranayama. With that, you are able to get ekagrata. The mind is able to get ekagrata. Yoga Balena. Only with that you will be able to think of the Lord without any distraction whatsoever. You can either think of the nature of the self if you are a Raja Yogi, or with a ekagrata mind, you can think of the Lord if you are a Bhakti Yogi. Both of them require ekagrata. That's why he says Yoga Balena, with the strength of your yoga. Yoga Balena, Shayeva, Bruvoho Madre, middle of the eyebrows, Bruvoho Madhye, Pranam Samyak. Prana means the Pranavayu. Pranam Samyak Aveshya. Samyak means completely. Aveshya, keeping it in the middle of the eyebrows. Yaha, whosoever. Anusmarana, constantly thinks about me. Saha, such an individual. Param Divyam Purusham, the Divya Purusha, which is none other than me, Upayati, is able to reach that. So here what it says is, it is not merely constantly think of the Lord, you need the yoga support. You have to be a yogi, right? That is why Krishnamacharya, even though he was a Bhakti yogi, he was a practitioner of yoga, right? Even though, he was not, of course, he taught about Raja Yoga, he talked about the nature of the self and all. That understanding is necessary even for a Bhakti yogi. But then even for a Bhakti yogi, you need some discipline. You need discipline. Discipline is given by yoga. Many people don't do that. There is that's why at a particular level, there is no progress. Without the yoga bala, according to this text, without yoga bala, you can neither be a Sankhya yogi nor a Bhakti yogi. Yadaksharam Vedavido Vadanti Vishanti Yadyatayo Vitaragaha Yati Ichantaha Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Samgrahena Pravakshe. Vedavidaha, people who have studied the Vedas, have understood the Vedas. Yati Aksharam Vadanti, whatever they call as Akṣara. Akṣara means non-changing or indestructible. Vitaraga, without any desire, worldly desire. Yatayaha means people who, what you call yatis, who have got definite control, these are all sannyasis. Yatayaha. Yati Vishanti, what do they achieve in their end? Yati Ichanti, whatever they desire. Brahmacharyam Charanti, there are many people who maintain celibacy all through their life, or they study the Vedas completely. Tatu Padam, Te Samgrahana Pravakshami. Now I'm going to tell you the ultimate goal reached by these people, right? These people. Who are those people he's talking about? Vitaragaha, Yatis, they are called Yatis, right? They have no desire. They are called Vairagis, Vairagis or Vairagis. Okay. Then Brahmacharyam Charan, there are some people, they are called Naishtika Brahmachari. After they, Brahmacharya, they don't get into the family life. Such people are called Brahmacharya Vratam, right? They follow the path of Brahmacharya. Or it can also mean to keep on studying the Vedas. Tatu Padam, that particular state they reach, Sangrahena means, in a concise manner, Pravakshe, I will explain to you. That's what he said. These are all information that one should have. Not that these are information we don't normally have. These information I must have. Okay, what are the various various activities, what is the goal, all these things. What do these people do? What do these people? What does the Bhakti Yogi do? What does the Raja Yogi do? What does the Vedanti do? All these things you must have a clear understanding. These, yeah. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Sarvadvarani samyamya manokridi nirudhya cha murdhni adhaya atmanaha pranam astito yogadharanam Om ityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran yaha prayati chadandeham sayati paramam gatim. I would like you to read the Yoga Yajnavalkya. He explains, that is when at the time of death, how to remain focused on all yogic principles. At the same time, the union of Jivatma and Paramatma also is explained there. I think the last chapter, if you read, summarizes it talks about the type of yoga one has to practice and then what should be kept in mind. Okay. Sarvadvarani, Sarvadvara means all the Indriyas, Indriya Dvara, like Varshamukhi Mudra. Sarvadvarani samyamya. Samyamya means controlling or completely closing all the, all the dvaras, or the Indriyas, right? Which symbolically you find it in the Shanmukhi Mudra. Sarvadvarani samyamya manaha kridi nirudhya. Mind, keeping the mind in your heart, right? Focus your attention on the heart. Nirudhya. Atmanaha pranam. Atmaha pranam murdhini adhaya. That is Atmanaha, one's prana. Murdhini. Murdhini means the middle of the eyebrows. How do you do that? Antakumbhaka. And Antakumbhaka, you are able to place it on the Murdhini adhaya. Yogadharanam, Yogadharana is a state of Yogadharana, keeping, holding on to yoga, astitya, firmly established. Om iti ekaksharam, right? Chant the mantra Om iti ekaksharam. Okay, what does Om represent? Different mantras are there. Shiva mantra represents Shiva, Vaishnava mantra represents Vaishnava, Shakti mantras represent Shakti. Here Om represents the ultimate reality, the Brahman. Om iti ekaksharam. Brahma, Vyaharan, chanting Om and thinking about Brahman. In Yoga Sutra, they call it as Ishvara. And then he describes the nature of Ishvara also. Brahma, Vyaharan, Mam Anusmaran, at the same time thinking of me, right? Anusmaran, Deham Tyajan. If an individual is able to release a particular goal to the body, Yaha Prayati. So whosoever leaves the body in this way, Paramam Gatim Yati, he reaches the highest, what we call highest position. Okay. Again, if you want, you please go through the, what we call the last chapter, Yoga Yajnavalkya. He explains this particular state. That is, you get to a particular posture, keep your back straight, and then do pranayama, do the mudras, union of prana and apana, go through the sushumna after arousing the kundalini. Kundalini goes through the sushumna nadi, reaches the, what we call sahasrara, where the Shiva Tattva is there, where the prana goes through and then breaks open the, what we call the fontanel, lalata, and then reaches the, Jagat Prana. So beautifully explains this, right? So this is an experience shown by them, very similar to that. There also he talks about chanting pranava. These may appear to be a bit, a bit involved in that, but these are the practices that were available at that particular time. So even Bhakti Yoga is not, it requires a lot of discipline. Bhakti Yoga requires a lot of discipline. Whereas Sharanagati Tattva may not be difficult, but Bhakti Yoga is a very, not arduous, if you like it, it is good. Just like your practice of yoga, understanding the nature of Atma, but is going to be to your liking. Similarly, Bhakti Yoga will be good if you are to your liking. Sir. Om Vanamali Gadi Sharangi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki Sriman Narayano Vishnur Vasudevo Virakshatu Yajneshachyuta Govinda Madhavananda Keshava Krishna Vishnu Rishi Kesha Vasudeva Namostute Shanka Chakra Gada Pani Srimadvarakan Nilayachyuta Govinda Pundali Akṣara Kshamam Sharanagatam Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Oh, thank you.